Americans, this is Liberation Day, waiting for a long time. In a few moments, I will sign a historic executive order instituting reciprocal tariffs on countries throughout the world.
In any fight, how would you respond to the first punch? The Brits are being very, well, British.
We are taking a calm approach, acting in the national interest. And the national interest is to continue our negotiations for a deal with the US, which we made big progress on.
But if talking doesn't work...
I am today launching a request for input on the implications for British businesses of possible retaliatory action. This is a formal step necessary for us to keep all options on the table.
But the UK is a relatively small market for the US compared to the EU, whose counterpunch would carry more weight.
We are prepared to respond. We are already finalising the first package of countermeasures in response to tariffs on steel. And we're now preparing for further countermeasures.
But what does she mean by countermeasures? We know the EU will shortly announce increased tariffs on things like these. Harley-Davidson bikes and bourbon, symbolic American products. But that's in response to previous tariffs. This time around, it may choose to hit American tech and banking giants, like restricting JP Morgan's business in Europe or increasing taxes for Meta, which owns Facebook. It could even limit American companies' ability to bid for EU government contracts. In the meantime, EU members like Spain are supporting industries straight away.
Spain will spend $15.5 billion to protect our businesses and workers, to provide certainty and also to anticipate the tariff impacts.
Ultimately, though, that's not sustainable, as is doing nothing. Because Donald Trump's tariffs will make cheap Asian products like phones or clothes expensive for Americans. And as demand there falls, those same products will flood the European market, making life harder for homegrown producers and putting pressure on governments to raise tariffs to protect them, which is exactly what President Trump is doing.
In other words, they charge us, we charge them less, so how can anybody be upset?
And so the trade war escalates, not just with the US, but with everyone else. Paul Hawkins, TRT World.